Hi there, this is Dr. John Whitcomb with News and Nutrition, talking about how to cure fatty liver with prolonged fasting. Fatty liver, what is it? It's the backup of fat in your liver that about 45% of Americans have, 50% of Americans have. If you have gained 20% body weight since being a teenager, if you've put on, more simply, 4 to 6 inches on your waistline, if you have a beer belly, you have a beer liver as well. It's caused by eating too much sugar, too many carbohydrates, too many calories in general, too much of good food, which we have in our Western society. Your liver can only push out fat that quickly when you eat a lot of carbohydrates, particularly ones that induce insulin. You force your liver to turn on its manufacture of triglycerides, and they can only ship out those triglycerides so quickly on their way to your fat cells. So it backs up in your liver. So in effect, you have 3 tanks in your body for fuel. One tank is about 1,500 calories for carbohydrates. We call that glycogen. It's a very small tank, intentionally, because carbohydrates used to be relatively rare. And when you find key carbohydrates, it's typically at the end of the growing season before the no-calorie season. The fruit season arrives at the end of a growing season, and you gorge on fruit, and your blood sugar rises, and you put out insulin, and you make triglycerides to store for the winter. Now we have carbohydrates available to us year-round. Fatty liver shows up when you're eating a ton of carbohydrates. What does prolonged fasting do? It empties out your 3 fuel tanks. It takes about 2 days of eating nothing for you to have ketones show up abundantly. Your ketone level beta-hydroxybutyrate will be 1 to 2 on day 1, but it'll hit 3 by 48 hours if you're eating nothing. And that means you're in good ketosis, and ketosis means you are burning fat. You are making ketones, which are being chopped up pieces of fat. But the second tank you have to empty is your liver, and that's a fatty tank hidden in your total fat tank. And fatty liver is what shows up next, and you empty that out. The third tank you empty is basically your total body tank over 10 days. But I believe fatty liver ends up over about 5 days. Now, what do we do know? We do know that there is an enzyme we can start following, but it isn't commercially available yet. And it's just been reported this week. It's just been reported, called GADD45B, that stands for Growth Arrest and DNA Damage Peptide. Complicated name. When you get fatty liver, you start making it. When you don't have fatty liver, it means you're healthy, you've got plenty of it. What will work for me? Well, half of us have fatty liver. You can see it by measuring your ordinary liver functions on your chem panel. Your SGPT should be under 25. It's not should be under 45, should be under 25. And if you do a fast, even a 5-day fast mimicking diet repeatedly, will gradually get rid of fatty liver. The traditional way of teaching you to get rid of fatty liver is to cut down on calories, but that's nonsense, unless you cut down on food that induces insulin. Make a diet of no insulin, and you'll cut down on fatty liver. What doesn't induce insulin? Green vegetables and healthy oils. What will work for me? Well, I'm down about 6 inches on my waist size since about 10 years ago. And I do a 5-day fast mimicking diet every month. But I've now measured at least 5 or 6 people in my practice who've done 10-day fasts, and their liver functions get better reliably. You can do that too. It probably should be medically supervised. This is Dr. Whitcomb talking about getting rid of fatty liver with a 10-day fast, medically supervised by a doctor.